welcome to my YouTube channel once again. First of all, as always, I want to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to my channel. Honestly, I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much. I can't believe that there are 98 people who take, whether it's if I upload a 20-minute video, then they take 20 minutes to watch something that I've uploaded, or they take 10 minutes from their day to say, I'm gonna watch something that Trezor has uploaded. Honestly, I feel so special. I feel so honored when you guys do that, and when you send me feedback and say, hey, your video blessed me, or hey, thank you so much for that video, it was for me, or thank you so much, I learned so much, or you helped me so much. Honestly, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so grateful to God, but also so grateful to you guys, because if you guys weren't watching my videos, then there'd be almost no point for me to keep uploading them. So thank you so much. I don't know how I can even express how much I appreciate you guys, how much I appreciate all the messages, all the feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get into today's video. As you can see from the title, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys how I went from being like an average student to one of the top students, how I went from getting C's and D's to A's and B's. And if you've been following, then you know that this is the 4th episode on our education series. I just want to apologize that I haven't been uploading frequently. I'm going to try my best to upload one video every week. Once I've established that, I'll announce which days I'll be uploading a video, so that you can look forward to that and set a reminder and be like, whether it's every Wednesday or Saturday, then you'll be like, every Wednesday at such and such a time, I'm gonna watch a video from Trezor. So I'll let you guys know about that. But anyway, let's continue with today's content. How I went from being, from getting C's and D's to getting A's and B's. Now, obviously, it wasn't an overnight like transformation. It wasn't like one day I had a test and I got like a D, and then like the next week I got had a test and then I got like an A. It did not happen like that. It took time. I believe it even took like a year or two, if I'm not mistaken. So all my life I've basically been like an average student. I was never like the top student. I was never the top student. I was never like the last student, but I was just somewhere like in the middle. I was an average student. Sometimes I'd be closer to the bottom, sometimes I'd be closer to the top, but never like the first in the class or like the last in the class either. That's kind of how it always was. And I remember even like in primary school, all my report cards, teachers would always say, this child has so much potential, she has so much potential. But they'd never be like, oh my gosh, this is like our favorite, like this is the top student of the class. I never got that. It was only recently, not too long ago, that I managed to break whatever it was in my life and move from getting C's and D's to A's and B's. So obviously there's more, but I decided to keep this video short. I'm just going to give you guys 5 things. I tried to summarize everything into 5 tips or 5 points that I'm going to share with you guys. So my first thing was I made a conscious decision to pursue excellence. And you're probably thinking, what does she mean by that? So what I did was, I think I was inspired by like a conference or something. I don't know where I got it from. But somehow I heard that like excellence is something that you can pursue, and I made a decision that, you know what, I'm gonna make a conscious decision to pursue excellence. I'm gonna be excellent, and for me it was specifically academically excellent. And so I made that decision and I started to pursue excellence. Now, if you like know when a guy thinks he's fallen in love with a girl, or when he sees a girl and he thinks that she's attractive, he pursues her. He tries everything that he can to get to know her, or to convince her that he's a good guy and that she should be with him. So that's kind of how it was with me in excellence. I was like, you know what, I'm going to pursue this thing until I achieve it, until I get it. I'm going to pursue excellence. And so I listened to sermons about excellence. I listened to people who just talked about excellence and people who were doing excellently. And I just made sure that whatever I could do, whatever was in my capacity to make sure that I was like trying to attain excellence, I did that. So I made declarations. I took scriptures from the Bible that talked about excellence, and I basically made declarations from those things and you know, declared every morning that I shall be excellent. I don't remember the declarations. I don't even know where they are. But yeah, I declared daily. You know, I would read my Bible, I would pray, and I would declare excellence over my life. And it's not like, as I said, it didn't happen overnight. And then, like, you know, one day I started declaring, and then the next day I started doing excellent. You know, it was nothing like that at all. It took lots of time, but yeah, finally I became excellent. So I pursued excellence. So for you, if you want to move from being an average person to being at least in the top section of your class or in the top section of whatever it is you're doing in life, pursue excellence. Make a conscious decision to pursue excellence and declare it over your life, in your prayer life, or in your prayer time, or whenever during the day. Just declare that you are excellent. So there were literally times when maybe I would fail a test, but I would still declare that I'm excellent because I believed it. I held on to it, that you know what, I'm going to be excellent. I am excellent in everything that I do. I'm going to be academically excellent, and I declared it. And sooner or later it became me, because I really believe that my pastor always says you form your world by the words that you declare. So you can literally form your world by declaring certain things over your life. So if you declare that you are excellent, your world will become excellent. So if you believe that, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and try it out. Declare excellence, pursue excellence, declare excellence, and you shall become excellent. That's my first thing. My second thing that I did was I surrounded myself with people that were doing academically well. So I surrounded myself with the top of the class students. I surrounded myself with people that were doing better than me. And I asked them how they were doing those things. So I took tips, a couple of tips from like the top student and maybe the second top student or someone else who was in a higher class than me. I took tips from several different people. I even watched videos. Asked maybe like, because I want to become a doctor, so I asked doctors or people who were already in that field what they did when they were in high school or university, and I combined all those tips together. And it's not like I did everything that everyone told me to do, but I did what worked for me. So I combined that and put it into something that worked for me, and I followed that. So yeah, surround yourself with people who are excellent, ask them questions, and you don't necessarily have to like memorize and like, you know, try and become a clone of that person, no, but do it in a way that works for you. Put things together in a way that will suit your personality, your schedule, and just, yeah, put together people's tips and make it you. That's what helped me. My third thing was I changed my studying method. I decided to research studying methods, and we had this class, I can't even remember what it was called now. Yeah, I don't remember what we called it, but it was basically where this lady would come and teach us like different life things. I remember people used to hate it, but somehow it was kind of helpful, because then she would give us like these papers with like different studying methods and studying times and all this. Basically, it was like a life class where you learned like important things about life and how to handle life. So I took tips from her. I did my own personal research on like different studying methods, and I tried them out, and I found one that worked for me, and I changed the whole way that I used to study. Like, there was a time I used to study with like flashcards, so I would make all these note cards with like, so maybe if it was like biology, then I'd put like, I don't know, like let's say classification on one side of the flashcard, and then on the other side of the flashcard I would have like the definition of classification and all the important points that I needed to know about classification. And there was a time, yeah, I used to study that way. Then I realized, you know what, this doesn't work for me, so I have to figure out a way that worked for me. And yeah, that's a method that I used. If you really want, I can actually make a specific video on the type of studying that I used and how I study and how I managed to get good grades with the studying method that works for me, because I'm sure there are like a bunch of other people in the world who also study in a similar way as me rather. So yeah, that's what I did. I changed my studying method. Look, don't be afraid to change your studying method. If you're like studying and you're getting like D's, or like you're getting like F's, or you're like at the bottom of your class, then one of the reasons is probably because you're studying the wrong way. So don't be afraid to experiment new ways of studying and see if it works for you, because for all you know, you could be like bottom of your class not because you're dumb, but just because you're studying the wrong way. So yeah, make sure you try out new studying methods and see what's gonna like work for you. Don't just stick to one old way of doing things, and if it's not working, then you're still sticking to that because that's what you're used to. Be ready to get outside of your comfort zone, because that might just be the solution that will help you. So yeah, be ready to change your studying method. I did that and it worked for me. My fourth tip or fourth thing that I did was, look, I constantly reminded myself of who I was, my background, and how I always reminded myself, I always thought about the fact that, look, I had no other option but to do well. So I don't know about you, but for me, it's not like I came from a poor family or anything like that, but I had a single mom raising me and taking me to school. And even though I was in a very good school, I knew that like I wasn't like super rich or anything like that. So I knew that like education was what I had to master, because if I didn't have like, my mom didn't have like a business where that like, okay, if you fail school, my child, you come and work in my business, or I'll give you a job, or I have connections and you can get a job. No, that wasn't my story. I know that there's some kids who have that story. That wasn't mine. And so I had to make sure that I did well, because if I didn't have any other options. So I constantly reminded myself of that fact. And I didn't do it in a way to depress myself, to be like, oh no, like my life sucks because I have a single mom, and oh no, like I don't know if I have enough money for university, and oh no, this and that. No, I didn't depress myself, but I made sure that I faced the reality of my situation, of my background, and keeping that in mind, in the back of my mind, every time I studied or every time I went to school, helped me to be like, you know what, I have a goal and I need to make sure I achieve and I attain that goal, because at the end of the day, there are people who are depending on me to do that, you know, and I'm depending on me to do that, because if I don't, then I don't know what's gonna happen to me. That's kind of the mindset that I had, that, you know what, I have to make sure I do well, because there's so many people that have invested to make sure that I get a good education, and I cannot let them down. That was the mindset that I had. So almost every day, or at least every week, I reminded myself, and even in prayer, I reminded God that, look, God, I'm trying my best, and you know my situation, you know my circumstance, you know that I need to pass. I cannot fail. It's just not an option for me, because you know our situation, my family situation. And I would remind him that in prayer. I would remind myself that, and constantly reminding myself of that helped me to do better in school. And my fifth one, my final one actually, is I studied hard. That's the reality of it. Like, I had to study hard. After implementing all these other things, I actually had to get to work and study hard. I had to study hard. Look, if I had been like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to declare that I'm going to be excellent, and, you know, I'm going to hang around excellent people, and yeah, I'm going to pass my exams. Look, I would have failed. Believe you me, I would have failed. It's not like God is a magician or a genie. So it's not like if you pray and say that, Lord, I want excellence, then God will grant you excellence, and you just sit back and you just, receive, I'm receiving excellence, and I'm just going to be excellent, and all I have to do is just sit and receive from the Lord. Let me tell you, honey, it doesn't work that way. You have to put in work. The Bible tells us how the Holy Spirit comes to work with us. He works in cooperation with us. So if He's working with you, it means you also have a part to play. There's work that you're doing that the Holy Spirit is going to. He says He's your helper. How can someone help you with something if you're not doing anything? You only get a helper to help you with something that you're actually doing. So guess what? There's no shortcut to life. There's no shortcut to being a good student, or being an excellent student, or being excellent academically. There's no shortcut. You have to study. You have to work hard. You have to do your assignments. I'm sorry if you thought I was gonna tell you like some super secret that I used, or like I went to go and get like some water somewhere, some anointing, something that made me super special and like made me like just chill and not have to do anything, and then I got good grades. Sorry to burst your bubble. It doesn't work that way. you have to study, work hard, and God helps you through that. And you do well. That's kind of how it worked for me. And honestly, everybody else that I've heard from tells me the same thing, that they had to study, they had to work hard. And on top of that, they prayed and they committed it into God's hands, and things worked for them. So yeah, that's kind of how I went from getting C's and D's to A's and B's. It was about a mindset change. It was about working hard, and yeah, it was about a changing of friends and stuff like that. I really hope that this video has helped you. I hope that you will also be able to go from getting C's and D's, or like, I don't know, E's and U's, to getting like A's and B's, or from being like at the bottom of your class to the top of your class. Believe in yourself. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Believe in yourself. You can do it. And yeah, I'll be praying for you, and I'll pray that this video helps you to do well academically, because who doesn't want to do well academically? Yeah, so I pray that this video helped you and blessed you. Share it with a friend, and yeah, bye, and God bless you.